support Israel, we will help defend Israel, and Iran will not succeed. Thank you very much.
After Iran's shocking and unprecedented attack, all eyes are now on Israel. As Israel weighs its next steps, West Asia is on the edge after Israel vowed a response to Iran's attack at the right time. Israeli officials say that a response is all but certain. Despite Western pleas for restraint, the impact it could have on the ongoing conflict in Gaza and the potential that any retaliation could push the Middle East to an all-out war. So how can Israel attack? Even though Israel and its allies have said that they downed more than 99% of the hundreds of drones and missiles that Iran fired at it, Israeli leaders say they have no choice but to respond. So here are some of the options which Israel could be considering. First, airstrikes. Israel could respond to the Iranian barrage with airstrikes of its own, particularly as Iranian air defenses are considered much less well-developed than the multi-layer system that Israel and its Western allies had deployed on Saturday night. Such an attack could hit strategic facilities including the Revolutionary Guard bases or nuclear research facilities. Israel could also hit proxy groups such as Hezbollah in Lebanon or Iranian targets in countries such as Syria and Iraq. However, the fact that Iran directly attacked Israel for the first time suggests that any such action would only be part of a wider response that would also target Iran itself. Israel has to weigh in two broad considerations: whether it should opt for a conventional response or whether or not it should choose a proportionate response. A conventional and proportionate response for Israel would probably be a direct assault against Iranian military targets. The Israeli Air Force's F-15 and F-35 fighter jet fleets have for years trained for long-range missions, simulating the 1,500-kilometer distance that they would have to traverse to reach Iran. In fact, in February 2022, Israel attacked an Iranian UAV base in the western side of the country. Iran later alleged that the Israeli drones were launched from neighboring northern Iraq. Israel, for its part, also had the option of deploying for the first time its own arsenal of the long-range Jericho ballistic missiles and other submarine-launched missiles. The second attack could be cyber. Israel is believed to have carried out numerous cyber attacks in Iran over the years, and a repeat is considered among the likely options for any kind of retaliation. Now, any such attack could interfere in highly visible areas such as energy production or flight services. Well, there has been speculation for years in intelligence circles that Israel has the capability to cause widespread blackouts across Iran. A more high-profile yet still covert attack would involve the targeted assassinations on Iranian soil of prominent regime figures, operations that Iran has long blamed Israel of conducting. Then, the next strike could be covert operations. Israel is believed to have previously carried out a number of covert operations inside Iran, including the assassination of several of its senior nuclear scientists. Such operations could be carried out both inside and outside Iran. From cyber attacks against nuclear sites to mysterious explosions at military bases, Israel has mounted dozens of covert operations against Iran during its decades-long shadow war with the Islamic Republic. Diplomacy could also be the latest weapon that Israel could use against Iran. In addition to military strikes against Iran, Israel is stepping up diplomatic efforts to isolate Tehran by launching a diplomatic offensive against Iran, calling for sanctions against the Islamic Republic. Israeli Foreign Minister Israel Katz said that he has contacted 32 countries, calling on them to impose sanctions against Tehran. The United States has already announced its decision to impose these sanctions on Iran, including on the country's missile and drone program, as a result of Tehran's unprecedented attack on Israel. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said that the US would, quote-unquote, not hesitate to continue to take action to hold the Iranian government accountable for its malicious and destabilizing actions. With Israel remaining quiet on its next steps against Iran, Western allies and other Middle Eastern nations are closely watching the latest developments with bated breath. After all, the Iran-Israel standoff has major implications for geopolitics beyond the Middle East.